All right, the Detroit Lions with a dominating victory over the Jags. And Craig, this spread was 14 points, the largest spread of the season. Lions were favored by 14. Vegas is really smart. They know that Lions are good. And they're like, all right, we're gonna put up 14 points. That's how much we think the Lions are better than the Jags. And it wasn't even, obviously, it was triple that. It just goes to show that is so hard to do, because Vegas is like, we're gonna really, it was big. They're really good, and yet the Lions are triple that. What are your thoughts on what you witnessed today?
Yeah, so everybody was asking about the trap game. Is this a trap game? It's no, it's not. But I thought it'd be like a 10, 14 point victory. I did not think it would be a 46 point victory. We've now gone over 50 twice this year, I believe, and over 40 a couple times as well. What my thought when I'm watching this game is, I truly, this isn't what NFL football looks like. This is beyond anything that I've seen. This is like Alabama playing Mercer. And this is just nuts to me. I want to like take it easy, but I have so many thoughts right now, Chris. I could talk about Jared Goff, how he had 5 interceptions last game. Well, this game he comes out perfect quarterback rating, over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Like, no, I'm still the MVP. What's up? I'm just truly amazed by this team and how Dan Campbell has them ready to play every single week. It's unbelievable.
You're right, because this is not NFL football. This is, you look around the scores around the NFL, and every game is 1 point, 1 point. I mean, you're looking at it right now. Colts 1-1, Packers 1-1. Rams are leading by 6, but Patriots have the ball driving.
Yes. Pittsburgh is up by 8. Baltimore has the ball driving.
8, right? These are 8 one score games. Who can close the game out? And so this is just, I'm with you. This is so not normal. Look how far we've come. It's so hard.
Keeps happening.
Yeah. To do this against air, right? If you were just lining up our full offense, let's run plays a bit. Oh, shoot, he ran the wrong route, or I mean, shoot, Goff just overthrew him. Like, against air, this is very difficult to do that well. And that's another NFL defense. And that's the thing. This is not normal. This is not normal.
It's difficult to do this in 7-on-7, right? And you sit here, and our first 7 possessions, do you know how many were touchdowns?
7.
Yes. And the shortest drive was 53 yards.
Right.
There was a 96 yarder in there, or 97 yarder in there, or 93, whatever it was. There was like an 80 yarder. There's a 70 yard. They're all long, sustained drives. And some of them were like 4 plays, like 2 runs, 2 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Right. And like, there are plays like there's ones like that. And then there's other ones that are a little more sustained. I understand Jacksonville is garbage. Like, I get that. But at the same time, like, Jacksonville hung until the very end of the game with Green Bay just a week ago, or not a week ago. I don't know who they're playing. Minnesota. That's what it was. Right. Like, they hung in there. They forced 3 interceptions off Sam Darnold. And it's just like, that's the next best team possibly in the division. And so I'm amazed at how good we actually are. I mean, we're 9-1.
We know we were always that bad team that team's like, all right, sweet, let's get a win. And so we know that. Remember how we always put up, this isn't even the Dan Campbell era. I'm talking about previous to that. You mean maybe those really bad teams with like Johnny Morton, where it's like, man, we would fight you to the bitter end, and we would lose. But like, that's a bad team. So my point is, just because you're playing a bad team does not mean that this happens. And it's hard to even believe what our eyes are seeing out there. And I mean, I don't know if you saw like the one play, Penei Sewell, where he pushed Jahmyr Gibbs, or no, he pushed David Montgomery in the pile into the end zone early on. He just throws an incredible block, runs up, and we just look completely different. And my whole point on that, I don't have to explain the play, but it was just like, dude, we are bigger, faster, stronger, more well-coached, higher drive, better coaches, better scheme. I mean, top to bottom on this thing. And this is happening now in multiple games where we are we are just check every box. Like if you just had to make a list of all the things, it's like, all right, you need to be good in like these areas. We are better than every team we play in those areas. And it's like, how are we doing this? Is unbelievable.
So I'm really glad you said we're better than every team we play in those areas. So everybody's going to talk about the Lions went 52 points. Their first 7 drives, 7 touchdowns. We put our backups in, field goal, right? And then the next one we kneel it out. So I mean, same thing. We would have scored on that. We didn't punt. We have the best punter in the league. He didn't punt. But how about the fact that another game, 6 points, right? Like I heard a stat that was just nuts to me. And it was, I'm trying to think what they said. This is the 8th week in a row that we've been a top 10 scoring defense in the NFL. So, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think about that. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, we gave up 23 to the Texans, 14 to the Packers, 14 to the Titans, 9 to the Cowboys, 13 to the Cardinals. I'm just talking about all these games that like, it's like our defense is legit too.
Dude. And
I understand it's Mac Jones. I get it.
100. Yeah. But
it's an NFL quarterback.
That's, oh my gosh, you're so right. And we gave the Jags their worst loss in franchise history today. And let us know in the comments all the stats that you love. But we put up 636 total yards of offense, which is a franchise record. So
record.
The same franchise of Barry Sanders, of like, right? It's like,
well, and the next 2 highest yardage outputs were 12 and 13. So it was those Calvin Johnson years, you know, when Calvin probably has 280 yards receiving and he's just throwing it up to him, and Stafford is. It's like, yep, I get that. And I get how that's scored. But like now you sit on this team and it's like, oh, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. Montgomery and Gibbs are both going to go for 70 on the ground. Then St. Brown's going to go for 160 through the air. J-Mo's going to get 120. Gibbs is going to add another 50 yards receiving, and it's like on one catch. And you're just like, there's so many weapons all over the place. And this is without Laporta. Laporta's not even in the game.
Laporta's out. And I think that was probably the only stressor of watching this game was like, all right, clearly we're going to win. How do we manage injuries? I don't know that you can, right? If you're out there, you just play. But why I say that is because, I was thinking about Laporta being out. And I'm like, all right, just stay healthy, guys. But you see our guys flying around. We have no like off switch or like, no, we don't know any different. And I just, I'm thinking, well, guys, like slow down a little bit out there. It's like, no, there's no, it's unbelievable.
That's how you get hurt though, right? Slowing down.
I guess. Yeah. Anzalone though is hurt. What's up with that? Did you see that?
Here's the deal. I was watching it with Sammy. I saw the way the hit goes and I look at my wife and I'm like, he broke his arm. And when he got up, he looked over, and this could be like, I'm not a, lip reader or anything like that, but he looked right over at a teammate and said, it's broke. So I think he's probably out for the year, which is devastating, but we'll see.
Which
somebody said it's not too significant. So maybe I'm wrong. Like that's what I thought I heard. We can scroll while we're talking about this. We'll scroll Twitter and we'll find it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. Sports
follow
Talk Detroit.
Love it. Love it. Now let's go to the comments here a little bit. Here's one right here is like, hopefully it's not too significant. I know. You're just so banked. That's the only thing that can stop us, right? It's just, unfortunately and fortunately is like the good news, bad news. The only thing that can stop us is injuries, because you look at Carlton Davis has a broken thumb, Anzalone possibly out. Obviously we know Hutch. I mean, right. It's just like, oh gosh, can we just last another 8 weeks or whatever? That seems like a lot.
I'm watching the play right now. I know we can't show it on here. He did say it's broke. Anzalone said it after he got up, and that's what they're saying. The MDs on Twitter and stuff like that are saying the concern here is a fractured forearm or broken wrist.
What about Goff and this MVP talk?
He
can actually win it being the way that he plays. I'm not the way that he plays, but you know what I'm saying? Like Lamar athletic, running around. It just seems like they have the edge when it just comes to that. But
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
I think so. The Lions have the edge of the fact that like their team's just ridiculous. Right now, Baltimore's driving. Lamar has looked very human in this game.
Love it.
He's looked very human. I think he only has like 170 yards, no touchdowns or anything like that. They've only scored 10 points. Look, players are going to have bad games throughout, and Goff has the opportunity against some pretty good defenses going down the stretch to be really good. And if numbers are similar and we end the season and we're 15-2,
Right.
and Baltimore's whatever they are, oh man, there's a backward. They just threw a pass, by the way. Got him like 20 yards. But like, that there could be a chance. I think there's a chance, but I think Lamar pretty much has it wrapped up, to be honest with you.
Okay. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but it just feels like he has like 500 more yards passing and he runs.
How about our guy Za'Darius Smith with a sack, and then he showed up first of all in the Rasheed Wallace jersey, which was so nice.
Thank you. You understand the significance of that. Because the Pistons, yeah. Like,
oh, yes.
It's not just, and for anybody who didn't understand it, it was like, he gets Detroit, right? No, it's more than that. It's the fact that the Pistons traded for Rasheed Wallace, and they won the NBA Finals that year under Larry Brown. So Za'Darius Smith is saying, you traded for me, I'm going to go get us a Super Bowl. Like, that's what he's saying by wearing that. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yes, yeah. Love it.
MV Goff. I like that.
Yeah, MV Goff. Panay Sewell redefining the tush push. Oh, for sure. Let us know. First of all, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not. Anyone that's in here. Forearm fracture, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's broke,
hopefully,
man.
Yeah.
And that's the bummer. I mean, it just means we're gonna see Baltimore just scored a touchdown, by the way. It just means that and it's really pretty simple. It just means we're gonna see a lot more of Malcolm Rodriguez and Neiman.
Yeah.
Those are the guys you're gonna see more of. Jack Campbell has progressed far enough where, yep, he's the guy in the middle. You don't worry about him anymore. And so at least we're not like, oh no. And Rodriguez has enough experience as long as he can stay healthy. That I think he can play well there. But here's the thing you have to realize. I mean, we're out Barnes. We're losing a lot on the edges right now. Barnes, Anzalone, Hutchinson. Like, it's starting to be a lot, but the defense just keeps playing well.
This is the first significant injury that we've had where I don't feel too worried. Like, I feel, Hutch, that was like, obviously it was a big bothersome. That was very bothersome, still is. Mm-hmm. The Derek Barnes, I was like, man, okay, this one, I don't know. He's a major, major player for us. And it still just feels like our overall mentality, attitude defensively, can make up for his absence. And
sure,
man, you see it when we line up and we are up in your face and we don't give you an inch anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's got to be a counter for that, but nobody's figured it out yet. So thank you.
No, nobody's figured out. And our players seem like the longer they play in the system, the better it gets, right? Like the tighter and the stickier the coverage gets. I thought Terrion Arnold played his best game today. And part of that, again, is because they don't have a great passing offense. Yep. But our defense is just like, here it is, come and get it. And we're going to stop you on the run. And that's just what we're going to do, period. And
speaking of that,
throwing the ball.
Speaking of that, who gets your game balls for this game? You could just throw balls everywhere for this one, but what do you
offense, defense?
Let's do offense, defense. Yep.
You can do special teams, I guess. But it's gonna be Bates because he just made 800 extra points. My offensive, you know what? I would love to get it to St. Brown, but I'm gonna give it to Goff. I'm going to give it to Goff because coming off a 5 interception day, and this is what I think has endeared him to the people in Detroit. And I'm just going to go out and say this. Like, we're all about grit. We're all about pick yourself up by your bootstraps, hard work in town, right? Like, that's the mentality, going to work. The Pistons always do that. Jared Goff's kind of this chill guy. He doesn't say a lot, but his resilience, he's starting to become what I would imagine is the most resilient quarterback in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Like, quarterbacks throw 5 picks, come back and have a perfect quarterback rating. How many quarterbacks get left for dead in Detroit coming out of LA and then end up having an absolute resurgence and are in the MVP conversation 11 weeks into the season. Jared Goff is absolutely my game ball for this one.
Love
No doubt. What do you got on offense? That'll hit defense.
Yeah, offensively for me would be I mean, geez, there's so many things you could do, but I think Jahmyr Gibbs, because he gave us a couple of just electrifying plays that just when you thought, I mean, there was really not even a question that the Jags could even do anything, but what Gibbs hit some big runs right when you thought, well, if they can get a stop here, and it's like, nope, goodbye. And he just runs past. It's just more of a demoralizing thing versus, because you think about it, you're handing him the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and then the next thing you know, it's 40 yards, it's 20 yards, it's 12 yards, versus like if Goff's throwing it. Anyway, I just feel like that Jahmyr Gibbs completely hits different when you watch him out there. He's looked special all year, but did it seem like he hit another gear today?
I don't know, man. I always make this comment about how, and I'll put that back up when we keep talking about people, but I always make this comment, like in NCAA, it's fun to watch college football because there's some players who just look faster than everybody else. In the NFL, everybody's fast, right? So nobody just pops off the screen. Like Tyreek Hill pops off the screen, right? You're just like, how is he that fast? To me, Jahmyr Gibbs pops off the screen. Like, and he of course did it today, but every time he touches the ball, if he gets to the line of scrimmage without being touched, your mouth's wide open. You're like, oh, like, how is he doing that? Like, he's so fast and he's so electric. You're right. Like, it felt like he was going to take every single carry to the house today. And so you nailed it, but I've just kind of been feeling that for the whole season. He's just unbelievably electric.
Unbelievable. Okay, who do you got for defensively?
Well, defensive game ball is kind of interesting because the defense wasn't on the field that long.
Right.
They weren't on the field that long. So I know, okay, I could go Kirby Joseph. He got the interception. I could go Brian Branch. He seemed to be all over the field, but that's standard for him, right? I'm going to go with Jack Campbell. I'm going to go with the guy who held it down in the middle. We've had, linebackers are going out. The defensive front in front of him is rotating all over the place. And all he does is go ahead and get 9 tackles, 3 solos. He gets a half a sack. He got in to help with a sack. Like, he's just become a extremely solid, steady middle linebacker. And in a game like this, it's exactly what you need.
I love that, man. And I will go with Kirby Joseph because it's like, okay, it's official. Like, you seriously are good. I don't know why. Maybe I'm not alone on this, but my hesitation to really put him as one of the top safeties. I don't know why. I just as I watch him now, I'm like, dude, he looks just a little bit. The thing that I think I really like is he's got all the playmaker ability that he has been having, but to me, he looks just a little bit bigger than he looks like a little
faster too.
Yeah. And it's like, oh man, he's fast. He's always had good hands, but he looks stronger. The guy is, man, it's like, holy crap. And then again, you combine him with Brian Branch, who looks fast and is strong. Brian Branch is freakishly strong because the only reason he has to be because he can tackle so well. There's something he like grabs you and you go right down. It's like, oh my gosh, dude, this is unbelievable. So yeah,
when he hits people, it's like a middle linebacker's hitting them. It really is. I mean, he just uses his body as a projectile too, which is, you worry about that later in his career. But he's very strong. But that's a good call with Kirby Joseph, the NFL leader in interceptions, by the way. He has 7.
Unbelievable.
And okay, so let's talk about this. 2 things. First, can I go off the game for a second and talk to you about something that's happening in another game? So the Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore scores. Steelers are up 2. They have to get a first down so they can run out the clock. They put Fields in. Our buddy Justin Fields.
Boy,
he's got it. Easy first down. Slides 2 yards short of the first down on second down, and then gives the first down signal. And and his teammates are yelling at him. And sorry, it's just funny. But that's the thing about this game. So when we beat the Titans, it was like, all right, we crushed them. That's awesome. Same with the Cowboys, but there were so many turnovers forced. We were outgained total yardage in both of those games. With this game, I just want to flip it away from the game balls, but still tell us who your game ball is, everybody out watching. But my big thing was we just flat out were better. Like, can we just talk about that? We didn't need a turnover. It was, in the first 7 possessions, it was 7 touchdowns with 5 stops. And those 2 that weren't stops were field goals for them. Just flat out better football. I love that. I had so much more fun watching this game just because you just outplayed them.
Great point. The Titans was a truly just, wow, that's like a lot of big plays, special team stuff, interceptions. You nailed it. This was just, we stopped you. They even got a couple of first downs, but then we stop them. They punt. And a couple times we were pinned way back. And I remember thinking, oh, we're pinned back here. And I just thought, well, actually, our offense is thinking, sweet, that's just more yards that we can that we can give somebody or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that's a great point. This was the most dominating game. And think about that. This is now our 3rd dominating game where we crushed the Cowboys, crushed the Titans, and now these guys. And again, this isn't normal. Vegas had this line at 14 points, the biggest line. That's a college football line of, like you said, you can just put Alabama Citadel, like it's going to be like a 21-point line, like because it's
sometimes 36.
Ultimately, you're just going to keep it close. Not close, but you know what I'm saying. Like it could have. So yeah, to crush them like this is just
well. Okay, so we had 645 total yards. They had 170. We almost had 500 more yards than them.
This was.
That's
bizarro.
Insane. That's insane. 475 yards more total yards than them. This was not, there was no funny business, no turnovers needed. We just smacked you in the mouth over and over and over again. And that was what was so beautiful about this. It almost got boring.
It did. And
thank you for this, by the way.
Look at this animal. Just
can you help me understand something, Chris? So I see this video, and our guy, Aiden Hutchinson, is somehow walking, in water. I get it. He's not walking on dry land yet, but he's walking in water. But then he's up in the suite, in the comfort of the suite, and he still has his leg propped up. Is it's crazy to me. Like, what's happening here? I don't understand this.
I thought the same thing. I thought, well, wait a second. Is he? He was fully like wrapped and stuff too, and elevated. So I don't get it. I love it. I trust. Here's the thing about it that's so cool is like, think about you and I, we go to the doctor if we have this injury, once every month to get a checkup, not even once every 8 weeks. He's getting checked every day. Every day they're doing, all right, let's do this. It's just the finest doctors, treatment and rehabilitation. It's cool. I can't wait to see what he
I know
does.
This sounds really dumb when I'm talking about this, but I think of guys like Alex Smith. Remember all the surgeries that he's had on the leg and all that kind of stuff. And when I see him walking in water, right? Do you know what that tells me? That tells me that his wound is fully healed from the surgery. His body has closed itself back up. There's very likely 0 infection, right? So like all those are the things that are going to delay his recovery time and complicate his total healing.
Yes.
And so like, if those things aren't happening, he just heals faster and better. And that's the kind of stuff that I love watching and love seeing.
The Lions are the 3rd team in the Super Bowl era to win 3 times with at least 35 points in their first 10 games of the season. And look at those. Those are the 69 Vikings and the 73 Falcons. I would have thought like the 07 Patriots or somebody, maybe the Drew Brees Saints had a thing where they did,
or like the Peyton Manning, or maybe the Broncos with Peyton Manning or something like that. That team.
No, none of those people did it. None of them did it.
None of them did it. It's the Jared Goff Detroit Lions. Hey, question, and this is for everybody out there. When you start to look at the totals of what our team has, and now another 52-point game, if we keep going at kind of this torrid pace we've been on for the last, month and a half, like I would say our first few games, it was kind of a slow start, but the last 7, are we starting to be in the conversation for like greatest show on turf? Like one of the best offenses we've ever seen?
Yes, please.
Is
That's
that
what I love.
weird?
Yes.
Is that real?
I mean, you said it. So we start off those first 3 games were a little dicey. Little dicey. But Arizona, at Arizona, that's a massive win. Now.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're good, by the way.
Right.
Believe it or not.
Like, at the time, it was like, what are they? But that's like, they are leading their division. So that's a division leader. And look at that.
Look at the totals and points after those first 3 weeks. 42, 47, 31, 52, 24, 26, 52. That's insanity, Chris.
I mean, in the 3 close games, we've had 3 like games, right? Yeah. The only 3 games was Minnesota. We had a scoop and score against us that we overcame and won. Yes. That never happens.
They were undefeated going into that, by the way.
We have 24 points at Green Bay in a complete driving rainstorm, which is just, that's a miracle to score above 20 points in that. Unbelievable. Yep. And then the Houston game that we all know we came back from 5 interceptions. So
well, and I mean, obviously the Rams, the Green Bay game wasn't really close. I would say the Rams and the Bucks were our closest, but that's the other good thing about that. In the 4 games that we had that were close, we won 3 of them.
Yes. Sorry. I was thinking once we rolled after Arizona, we've only really
I get what you're saying after that. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Now you look ahead, and I just, again, look how far we've come. We go on the road now, and I just think we are not going to get trapped on the road. I feel more trappy at home. Like this at Indianapolis, first of all, it's going to be a complete Detroit Lions fan takeover with a 3-hour trip down to Indianapolis. Are you kidding me? Like, see you there. And then we've got this little, I don't know. It's like, boom, go to Indianapolis. And now, Craig, we're early in this 5-game stretch here before we get to those last 2 where, man, we can rattle some things off here. I mean, the division games are always going to be tough.
Yeah. We can rattle some things off. And here's the thing, that Indy game, they get the victory. They beat the Jets, man. Jets suck. That's awesome. But like Aaron Rodgers, I greatly dislike you. But it's one of those things, as I'm looking at it, I'm just like, okay. So Indy is like hanging on for their lives, right? So if we go down there and beat them, and now the cat's out of the bag on how they're going to use Richardson the rest of the year, I just look at our team. Right. That seems like, for our defense, that seems like a really good matchup. We stop the run very, very well, 100%. And they require the run in order to be successful. And 100%. So, like, I understand Taylor's good and all that kind of stuff. But I got a little something weird for you.
Yeah.
The demise of our left tackle, Taylor Decker, was greatly exaggerated. He was going one-on-one against Trayvon Walker, who has 7 sacks this year. Remember the guy who the Jags took right ahead of Aiden Hutchinson?
That's right.
We were all thankful for. He's starting to become a real good player for them.
Yep.
And Taylor Decker's just like, nope, you're not getting there. I think he had 1 pressure that I saw. And it's just really, really awesome to see Taylor Decker come back and have a good game like this. It's a good reminder of how good this team is when both tackles are playing at a high level.
100%. And it felt so good to see that offensive line out there. And I think that's the bottom line, Craig. We can lose Alex Anzalone. We can lose, name anybody. The only people we cannot lose is our offensive line.
Yeah.
And Jared Goff.
Yes.
Otherwise, I feel very good about.
I don't want to lose St. Brown or Gibbs.
Yeah,
either.
St. Brown. If you started to make a list, you'd have to put. I don't know. You're right. We could talk about that forever, but
we could talk about that. Who is the number 1 player we can't lose?
It's Goff is 1.
You think Goff's 1? Okay.
And then after that,
2? Because I know who I think 2 is. Who do you think 2 is?
I almost want to put any one of the guys on the offensive line because it kind of starts screwing everything up. I would put an offensive lineman at 2, any one of them.
It would be Sewell for me.
Yep.
It would be Sewell.
He was out there the whole game, wasn't he?
Yep. Yeah, he got banged up a little bit.
Don't like that. Let's get him out of there. Let's put anybody in at right
Yeah, it's
tackle.
like, oh, we're gonna let Decker sit.
Jeez.
Yeah. Or
so you would put Sewell and then Ragnow. I mean, Ragnow's right there, and then St. Brown. St. Brown is I don't know. I think we know how good he is until some of the things he did today. I've never seen some of those catches on the ground where he just catches it, and then he brings it to his body, rolls. Because I'm thinking, oh man, if the ball moved, this could be overturned. Like we play this stupid game, and it's like, oh no, didn't even.
No, he's good. No, he's good. Whether it's out of bounds, whether it's a touchdown, whether it's getting a catch, and even like a simple over the middle route. Like he gets a lot of catches over the middle, but it was 1-on-1. There was no traffic. Nobody ran his guy off. He catches the ball and turns it upfield for a touchdown. Like I can't remember. Like I've seen him get big plays, but it's always through traffic. That one touchdown that he had, I don't know how many yards it was. It was like 27 yards for a touchdown, right? He catches the ball 12, 13 yards over the middle, turns upfield, runs away from the defense. That's not something you usually see from him. That was really good to see.
Dude,
that was what you'd see out of JMO, I guess. But
it's just, there wasn't anything that, we're just getting so spoiled because this is when you watch a game, this is what you want, right? Every time your team touches the ball, you go down and score. Every time you're on defense, you stop them. It's like, that's not normal. Like this is not normal at all. This is unbelievable.
It's not normal. Hey, Chris, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So we're done with the 1 o'clock slate of games. And you just so happen in our fantasy football league, you just so happen have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff on your team. Yeah. Do you think your team's going to win this week?
Yes, I do. And, you just
they score like 80 points between the two of them.
Oh, just unbelievable. Again, so that's St. Brown's 8th consecutive touchdown catch?
Yes. So that's another franchise record.
He catches 7 balls for 81 yards and a touchdown every game.
Except this one where he catches 11 for 161 and 2.
Yeah. And he's just like,
and this had a feeling for me. And I talked about this. I didn't talk about St. Brown. I talked about Montgomery in a video earlier this week. This had a feeling where they were going to feed Montgomery the ball early, right? Because he didn't get a ton of run again in that Texans game. And it felt like Montgomery was going to get early scores and stuff like that. He did. And it also felt like the game where it was like, all right, St. Brown hasn't been targeted a ton just because of weird game scripts. We weren't throwing the ball a lot. And then the Texans game was all messed up. So it felt like we were going to target him often. It's really good to see those guys go off. I feel good for them. You know what I mean? I really do.
100%. This was, we even saw like the backup dudes, like Tim Patrick on the wide receivers room and just, it was just, I don't know. What else could you say, man? This is unbelievable.
We've said it all. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun making videos this week.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
This is going to be fun making videos this week. Another Lion does something we've never seen before.
Yeah. And we're just seeing things that we've just never imagined in our life.
Can I just say, enjoy it, everybody?
Yes.
Like I remember saying this around this time last year too. Like this isn't normal. This doesn't happen. And to beat teams by 46, to be on this kind of a dominant run. We've won 8 in a row, right? Like,
oh my gosh,
this does not happen. It hasn't happened for the Lions since the 50s. So just enjoy the heck out of it. Don't come to expect this to happen every year, right? Even the best teams routinely win 10 to 13 games a year, right? So don't expect this type of phenomenal play. Like eventually these players are going to get older. We're not going to be able to afford them all. So just enjoy the heck out of the youth and excitement that is coming to this team while they still have all their coordinators, while their head coach is intact. Like just have fun with it.
Oh, have fun. Enjoy. Look at Twitter and stuff and just look at all the stats and all the things coming up. And make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Even on your way out, you're just like, hit it.
You know what? This was fun.
I'll hit it with these guys. Look at this, Craig. As we head out the door. Yes.
Baby. Oh, your goodness. The counter.
Just get us a 712 and we'll leave. Just hit the subscribe button. We'll see
one person.
Just one person.
Oh,
It's
that'd
live.
be great.
As soon as you hit it, it pops. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, Craig. This has been phenomenal. It's been inspiring.
Hey,
Oh man.
thanks, Finite. That's nice of you.
Finite. Are you finite? Oh,
And there it
all
is. There it
right.
is. Hit it.
Finite. All right,
Oh
man.
yeah.
I'm good for now if you are.
I feel good. This was fun, man. It's funny. The game's been over for a long time, so it's the smallest of the lobbies we've had all year after the easiest victory. These are the kind of games I love watching. I don't know about you. I just relax, chill,
Yep.
no stress, just enjoy some football. Now I'm off to go teach at middle school ministry for our church tonight. Yeah.
Nice.
So let's have some fun. For the first time, my daughter's going to have to hear me give the lesson in her middle school ministry. So she's either going to love it or hate it. I don't know yet.
You don't know, right? You know how she'll react. Like, oh my gosh, that's my dad. She's telling everybody that's her dad, or she's just like,
I don't know that guy.
no, I don't know.
Doesn't he look so weird with his bald head? Anyways,
isn't it? It's your dad, right? No, I don't
no,
know.
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Burns. All right, man.
Put it in perspective, baby. Nice.
All right, let's get out of here. See you later.
See ya. Bye, everybody.